Today, I'll be doing a poem analysis on The Long Way Down. Specifically, I'll be doing it on In That Bag, which is page 25, In the Kitchen, page 68, My Pop, page 198, and Is It Possible, page 199. All the poems refer to Will's mother's eczema. In the first poem, the poem talks about an invisible thing trying to eat her. Curse the invisible thing trying to eat her. The invisible thing could stand for Will's father and Sean's death, how they were eaten from this world and it's causing pain on the mother. The poem also talks about how she scratches the eczema off of her skin until it bleeds. This could infer that things were healthy before in her life, and the pain that was ripped out of her life is being exploited through her scratching her eczema off her skin. I've scratched until it bleeds. Pick at the pus bubbles and the flaky scales. I can make a personal connection to Will's mother's eczema as I have a friend who has eczema, and in the past while we've been doing tests and stuff, he's been scratching his skin, all anxious and everything about the test. The next poem, In the Kitchen on page 68, talks about Will wanting to tell his mother how it wasn't her fault. This could be attached to the death of Sean and how it was out of her control and Will's control. This again attached to the fact that her eczema is showing her pain as she scratches it all night when Sean dies. I wanted to take her and tell her that it wasn't her fault, but I didn't. The poem also talks about how Will is going to break her heart even more when he lies to her about where he is going. This is expressed through the eczema, and we will see that the eczema will spread once that Will hurts her more. Trying not to wake her and lie about where I was going and break her heart even more. My Pop on page 198 talks about the spread of the arms and the lifetime's worth squeeze. This could connect to the healing of the mother's eczema if the father had still been alive. If it does, then it perfectly connects to the earlier part of the poem where it talks about a time machine. As if he'd step into a time machine, moments later, spread his arms and welcome a lifetime's worth of squeeze. This lifetime's worth of squeeze is the healthiness that the family had before the father died. The final poem, Is It Possible, on page 199. The author talks about a hug that can bring back time. This could relate to the mother's eczema. If her father had still been alive, the pain would have never come and she would have been healthy. Is it possible for a hug to peel back the skin of time, the parts that bleed? This would be her patching herself, kind of as if the time machine would be a scab on her eczema that would heal eventually. To summarize my thoughts, I think that the meaning of eczema changes throughout the entire book and throughout the poems, as in the first poem and poems, it seems to actually be eczema that she has. But then later on, we see the symbolism of the eczema as the pain that she has in her life, where Sean dies, her father dies, her uncle dies as well, that we saw today in class, etc. I think the cumulative impact of the references of like the skin condition overall is just like the pain that she's endured over her life. Because obviously eczema won't come at one point in time on your skin. It'll come over time and it'll spread over time. So I think that the eczema is like a representation of her evolving over time, taking all this pain in.